So let us continue with the lesson, civics lesson number 4, democracy, that is a democratic government, children, and we are on page 237. In the first part, we learnt about the democracy and the what we say the features of Indian democracy. Now we are going to start with what? Generating public opinion. How we can generate public opinion? See, public has to be educated. I told you we have to be aware. These days, the public is educated. Enlightened means we have the knowledge that what is going on in our country, and politically aware. So we can keep a check on what the ministers are doing. Apart from this, there are certain agencies which help in imparting information and formulating public opinion. So there are so many social medias now, children, TV channels, so many TV channels, news channels are there. So we come to know what is going on in each and every part of our country. So we are educated, we are aware, then no one is going to cheat us, children. So two things we have to keep in our mind: educated, education is very important, we should be political aware, and we should have day to day update. That is why we should go through the newspaper, at least read one newspaper, or see one news, at least one time news you can see on the news channel. So media, for that media is a very important. I told you, media is a very powerful check. It can check what is going on in the part of our country. So media plays an important role in voicing public opinion. That we have to tell anything, we can speak on what? Media what? Newspaper, radio, television. Newspapers, magazines, journals publish their views, while news channels broadcast the views of individuals who express their opinions on the government's performance across key sectors of administration. So where the main government is working, so that they can express their opinions. The media coverage makes the government aware of the public reaction to their governance. In other words, media response helps the government to formulate policies in public interest. So media is very important, children, to formulate the policy for the public. And here we can speak, we can open up and we can speak what is right and what is wrong, and we can also help in giving our opinion. Electronic media, so that was print media. Print media means what? Newspapers, magazines. And electronic media means what? Television or radio, even cinema. In some pictures they show about what is going on in the politics, children. Many pictures have come, many films have come, which shows how the government sometimes cheat us, have contributed largely in generating public opinion. TV channels broadcast live events. You must have seen live news. Live news means what is going on in some parts of the country, that they will show you, and discussions for general public. Thus, media plays a key role in formulating public opinion. You must have seen that debate is going on the news channels, that people can express their views over their, children. Come on, page 2, next page, that is 238. Political parties. Political parties help to formulate public opinion through their programs and policies. I told you, before contesting any elections, they have to make a party manifesto in where they will write all their policies and what we say programs, what they are going to do for the country in the 5 years. During elections, their election manifestos help people to decide which manifesto comes closest to describing what kind of governance they want for themselves. Means here they will write down what we can do for the people. Then what is really they are doing or not, that will people will come to know through these manifestos, children. Educational institutions. The books read in colleges and schools also play a great role in formulating the minds of readers, like how we are doing this chapter, children. Why we have taken up this chapter, children? So you come to know what is democracy, what is government, how democracy works. So in schools and colleges, about the government we are teaching you, so you also be aware right from now only, that what is going on in our country. So education, that is educational institutions like schools and colleges, also help in generating public opinion. Similarly, educational institutions general greatly influence the minds of the young, often transforming them into responsible and conscientious future citizens of this country. So we become now only aware. Don't think that मेरे से क्या होगा, मेरे अकेले से क्या होगा. No, you become aware what is going on in the country. So children are the future of the nation, children. You are the future of the nation. So you should have proper knowledge that how the democracy works, children. Various associations. Now there are different NGOs and different what we say groups are there, those who work voluntarily. They are not working for any money. They are just working voluntarily for to formulate public opinion. That is social, economic, religious organizations and many other groups are there which contribute towards the formulation of public opinion. They work that public are aware or not. They ask the opinion of the public. So how to generate public opinion we learned now through the media, through the political parties, through the education institutions and the different NGOs and the various associations. We can generate public opinion in a democracy, which is very important part of the democracy. Now in democracy there will be conflicts, because see, conflicts means what? Ladai jhagde. Sif ladai jhagde matlab only not that war. I am not talking about any war. Conflicts means sometimes difference of opinions is there, because India is a vast country, many religions, many political parties, so many caste people are there, so naturally there will be conflicts. But to resolve them is the important part of our democracy. So conflicts are bound to arise in a diverse country like India. See children, on page 238, that is a right or wrong is there, that is true or false is there, that I'll be sending you on the WhatsApp group, children, so don't worry. So conflicts are bound to rise in a diverse country like India with its different cultures, religions and backgrounds. Conflicts mainly arise when a particular section of the people is not satisfied and feels they are being discriminated. Why will conflict arise? Some people will think that government is not working for them, or government is doing some difference or discrimination, so they will rise to conflicts. So conflicts occur not only amongst people but also between states. Two states also fight. Like for example, Kaveri water, river Kaveri. अब वो Kaveri river will flow in two states, that is Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. It is flowing through so many states. Now we cannot stop the direction of the river. You know that river will flow. It will not come to know that I am in Tamil Nadu or I am in Karnataka. But people of these two states are fighting for its water, river water. So such, what we say, state disputes are there, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, and the dispute arose over the way water has shared between the two states. Ultimately, then who has to come in between when there is a conflict between the state government? The central government will come and has to solve that the water of the Kaveri river was distributed between fairly between the two states, means both the states get proper amount of water shared. So conflicts are there, and that resolve conflicts to be resolved is very important. If we don't resolve this conflict, then there will be great wars in our country. So conflicts are very, to resolve the conflicts is very important. It can be between persons, it can be between any religious parties, or it can be even between the two states. I just give example now. Come on page 239, children. If equality and stability are to be maintained in India, discrimination based on religion, gender, language, culture, etc. needs to be done away with. Done away with means what? We have to solve these conflicts at the right time. If these conflicts go on and go on in a country, then it can lead to serious problems in our country. So whatever the conflicts are there based on religion, gender, language, whatever is there, we have to solve it properly. The people need to actively participate in the elections of the country. So very important, again it is coming, see this point is coming again and again. Participation of people. How do we participate? Through the elections. Since it is the they who to elect the representatives to govern the country. So if we don't participate in the elections, and if anyone will come in the government, then we can't blame, that is our fault, children. So our participation is very important first. So to resolve any conflicts is the important part of what? Democracy. Now justice and equality. How this democracy works? Two main points are important: justice and equality. If there is no justice, no equality, there is no democracy only. Democracy का दूसरा मतलब ही है justice and equality. The function of democracy to a large extent depends on the principles of justice and equality. जिस देश में justice यानी न्याय, equality यानी क्या बोलते हैं, समानता नहीं होगी लोगों के बीच में, then there is no democracy. So for democracy, these two things are very important. As I told you, to resolve the conflict is important. In the same way, justice and equality are also very important. In a nation, people can enjoy equal opportunities when there is equality. So equality, freedom of equality is very important, dear children. We have a multi-ethnic, multi-religious and multilingual. Means what? We are belonging to different customs, multi customs. multi-religion, there are different religions in our country. Multilingual means what? There are different languages of our country, so there are so many differences in our country. But to remove all these differences and to exist equally in our country, that is most important. So to remove all the social evils that exist in the society, the government steps in to promote justice by providing special provisions for all of us. So there are special provisions for all of us that we'll study in the next chapters, we'll study in the next standard also, that there are so many government provisions are given to different caste, and all are equal. No religion is the religion of our country. All religions, that is, our India is a secular nation. India is a secular nation. All religions are equal. No religion is giving special, what we say, preference. No. So equality and justice are the two pillars of democracy. So again, a quick review of what we have learnt in the lesson, children. Democracy is, remember this, children, democracy is government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Understood? Of the people, by the people, and for the people. Elections are the pillars of democracy. I told you, without elections there is no democracy. Democracy means elections. In India there is a representative democracy. Representative means we elect our representatives who will work for the country on our behalf. People are given the right to vote. So universal adult franchise, remember, every person has right to give one vote, every person, irrespective of their age, sex, race, or religion. The main features of Indian democracy are written constitution, adult franchise, that is universal adult franchise, elections, political parties, and formation of public opinion. This is very important, children. How this formation of public opinion is there? Through the media, I told you. There is a need to resolve all sorts of conflicts, whether it is a small conflict between any two people or whether there is a big conflict between states. Every conflict has to be solved in a democratic country, otherwise there is no democracy. And democracy cannot be built without justice and equality. So children, these are the important pillars of democracy: elections, equality, justice. So we have to maintain equality and justice in our country, then only it is called as the true democracy. And I told you, India is the largest democracy in the world. So children, I hope you have understood this lesson. So 3 lessons of second term are over. 3 lessons: history lesson number 3, geography lesson number 3, and civics lesson number 4, children. So these 3 lessons are second term lessons, but you can continue in your same book. If there are pages in your first term book, notebook, you can continue these 3 lessons in the same book and complete these 3 lessons. This third lesson, I will be sending you the WhatsApp note soon. Okay, children? So here we have completed the civics lesson number 4, children. Okay? Okay, thank you.